Welcome everybody, I am Don. I'm making another video for the first time in God knows how long. Now, the purpose behind this video is I am taking a trip later this week, and I want to play some games while I'm on the road. And what better way to do that than this old gaming laptop that I have that's about 3 years old now. It's an old Lenovo i50. It has a GTX 860M GPU in it. It's a 4GB GPU. It has 16 gigs of RAM. It has an i7 4200 HQ, I think, Intel processor. It's a quad core, but basically it's not that powerful by today's standards, especially when you have laptops with desktop components in them now that are just underclocked a little bit. So what I thought it would be fun to do is to see how it handles modern games at highest settings, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually kind of tweak these to see how well I can get them to play at acceptable resolutions and settings and still not look like crap. So as you can see up here on the upper left, I have the frame counter going from MSI Afterburner, a must-have application for all PC gaming. But I've slimmed it down just to the new graph feature that they have, so you can actually see the lines that are making up the frame rate and whether or not it's dropping. And right now I have it running at an unlocked frame rate, obviously. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in at max settings at 1080p. I'm going to go into the first level at Rookie because I'm terrible at this game. And now the goal is to have a flat line up there at the top, obviously. Now, as you can see right now, we are at 1080p max settings, and it's not looking so good. It's running at barely over 30 frames a second. This game it's a fast-paced, isometric, top-down shooter, and it's really got to be 60 frames. That's really what you're aiming for in this game, and that's what it was made for, and that's what it runs out of consoles. And that's what the ideal, experience is like. It's probably playable at 30. I would not try it though. So, all right. So we're seeing mid 30s right now at 1080p max settings. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tell you is I'm gonna go ahead, jump into the menus here. Now the PS4 version of this game, I believe, runs at 900p. Now we have it at 1080p. I know for a fact that, given multi-platform games that I've tried in the past with this laptop performs about on par with an Xbox One. Usually I can run games and get the same performance or a little better at the same resolutions and settings as an Xbox One version of a game. So I can't remember if the Xbox One version of this game runs at 900 or 720p, but that's just a little information that you can kind of put in your back pocket for this video. So and for the rest of the series that I'm going to be doing, because I'm going to be doing a lot of these games before my trip just to see exactly what I can do and what I can play. So, and plus I think it's interesting too, I think there are a lot of people out there that like to see how well games scale to low-end hardware, especially because we can't all afford to jump out and, buy brand new graphics cards every 6 months or a year or whatever. All right, let's go ahead and start tweaking here. Let's jump down into graphics, and let's go to, see, I have VSync on. That is not being turned off. Regardless, that is not being turned off. Okay, so let's try to keep 1080p here. I'm not too optimistic that that's going to happen, but let's see what can be done. Oh, good. I can't really change any of the graphic features when I'm in the game. Cool. That's great. All right. So, well, with that knowledge, that's not very cool. All right. Let's jump back out, I guess, to the main menu here. So the good thing, though, is that we saw the game was struggling to hit, even 30 plus frames per second from the outset. So all I have to do is jump back in, and immediately we'll be able to tell if the performance is improved. Let's drop these all down to medium. Let's say I'm going to leave on screen space reflections for now. It's early in the morning, sorry. I'm not optimistic that I'm going to be able to keep those on because those are typically pretty performance intensive, but let's try going back to Techno Forest again and see if dropping down to medium gained any frames for us. Okay. Detected. So yeah, it did. Right off the outset, we're up, to low 50s right now, which is pretty good, to be perfectly honest with you. All right, now drop down to 40. Of course, as soon as I open my mouth, it drops down to 40. Now, this is a 1080p, 30 frame per second video on YouTube. I apologize. My capture hardware is old. It will not do 1080p 60. I need to get a new one, but if anybody wants to donate money to me, just kidding. But I will eventually get a 1080p 30. It's just that's all I have right now is 1080p 30 capability and not 60. All right, so not too much better here, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's go ahead and again, you can't change the settings once you're in the game, so I'll have to go back out to the menu and try again. So this is one of the things that console players really hate about PC gaming is tweaking, and to be honest with you, I understand it can be. Let me turn these off. Let's try it with those off. Let's see how that works. I understand. I get it can be tedious, but to me, it's kind of fun. To be perfectly honest with you, it's interesting because if I wanted to, I could just lock it down at 30 frames a second and go with that. But I'm not happy with that. So what am I doing? I'm changing settings, and I'm determined I will find that magical mixture to let me have 60 frames. All right, so here we are doing a little better. It's up in the 50, more mid-40s range. Screen space reflections didn't really do much, to be perfectly honest with you. So, alright, well, that didn't really do anything. That wasn't what I was hoping. So, so let's go back out here, and let's try, you know what, let's try dropping resolution. And I know I could have done that in-game, but let's sacrifice, because I am playing on a 15-inch laptop screen, so it's not like, you know, a huge 65-inch 1080p TV or something. Let's try it again, jumping back in. Alright, what we got so far? Let's see here. Oh, we're up to 60 ish. I'm sure it'll drop in just a second, but okay, we're doing pretty good so far. Oh, there goes some of the frame time. You can see the frame time is really bad. It's really kind of all over the place, and that's just because I'm using in-game VSync. One way you can iron that out, and I'll show you in just a second. As soon as it gets a little less hectic, and I get a free millisecond here. One way you can iron out that frame rate up there, you can see how inconsistent that line is up there, and of course every time there's an explosion like that, it's going to dip to the 40s on me. But for the most part, I mean, look, we're solid 60 so far, which is nice. And like I said, just the only thing that we want to do is iron that line out, right? Because you see how it looks just like a heartbeat or something. It's just going crazy. So what we can do is we can go out to, and I don't know if this will show up, but we can go out to Rivatuner. Well, it won't show up, I guess. Let me minimize the game here. Oh, of course it went back into the game. Tell you what, let's go. And we can put a frame cap on it. Let's put 60 frame rate cap. Let's see if that works. Let's turn stealth mode off. I don't know why that's on. Okay, so let's go launch it again. And this time we have a frame rate limiter on there. And it's going to tell the game, hey, anything over 60 frames, pal, get it out of here. Hey, you, get your frame hands off her. Get your damn frames off her. Alright, so back into the game. Same settings as before. 900p now with medium and screen space reflections off. But now you can see that line is much smoother. There is just an occasional dip now instead of that crazy fluctuation we had before. Now it's really smooth and solid for like 99% of the time. And guess what? It plays a lot better now too. It was kind of juddery there for a little while. It's kind of getting a little crazier, you know what I'm saying? But now it's nice and smooth. So I'm kind of surprised, honestly. handling this game so well because, like I said, maybe I didn't say it. I did. The multi-platform versions of this game, PS4, for example, runs at 900p, 60 frames, but I think the Xbox One version runs at a lower resolution, but I could be wrong. But maybe they run at high settings or something. Usually they run in a little higher settings than my laptop's capable of. But hey, not bad for 3-year-old hardware, right? 3-year-old laptop hardware is like ancient in PC gaming. I mean, this stuff dates back to last generation practically, so. Alright, cool, man. I am pleased, to say the least. So I'll be able to play some Nex Machina on my trip there, which is awesome.
Secret human.
Oh.
Multiplier up.
Now I don't remember if later levels get more I know they get more hectic, but I don't know if they get more demanding. You know what I mean? Like if they take more resources. Because from what I remember, this game it's just punishing on hardware regardless of what stage you're on. So I think it's I think this is a good indicator of what the rest of the game is like, but I'm not entirely sure. So there is one way to remedy that, though.
Triple dash.
Triple dash. Triple combo. One way to remedy that would be to jump into another stage, obviously, and see for myself if the later stages play as well as the early stages. So let's try Future Labs. Rookie again, because I'm terrible. I just don't find this game very fun on harder difficulties. I'm terrible at it, so I'm sorry. I know some purists out there love this game on the harder difficulties, and it's just punishing to me. So I'm just, you know, I like to kind of chill when I play games. I don't like to get stressed out, and playing this on a harder difficulty stresses me out, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, dead already. On Rookie, I'm dead already. Terrible. I'm terrible at this game. Oh, there was a hitch. What was that? Some kind of loading hitch or something. Well, we're sitting at 60 frames for like 99% of the time, which is nice. So, other than that one loading hitch, it's been pretty solid. So it looks like the early stage is a pretty good representation of what the rest of the game will play like, to be honest with you. So that's cool. If you own a, so just for reference, my GPU in this laptop is basically the equivalent of a desktop NVIDIA GTX 750 Ti, which is really, really not powerful and really cheap. I think you can get them for like $100 now. You can play Nex Machina at 900p with medium settings. Now I have a quad-core CPU. I don't know if that is playing any part in it. I don't have the CPU utilization on right now, but if you have a quad-core CPU, an i5, then chances are good you'll be able to play Nex Machina at 60 FPS. As it was intended. Oh, died again. So yeah, this is pretty cool. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy this series. It's just kind of like me on the fly, just kind of sitting here playing games and talking. But I always find it fascinating to see how well games utilize hardware when they're given, you know, like multiple options, like a PC. I always find it interesting to see how well optimized they are, and to see how well older, less powerful hardware can handle modern games, you know. So I know this game's really demanding on, you know, current gen consoles, and it is interesting to see that it holds up pretty well on the laptop here. So thanks for tuning in again, and until next time, I will see you later, guys. Peace.